Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today we are going to fly this lovely Embraer 145 from Aerosoft's brand new Oslo scenery over to Amsterdam. Now, at least one of the two is correct. I would love for it to be the Embraer 45, but it is Oslo, and Oslo is a wonderful new airport. I tend to say it has the potential to become best in the entire flight simulator already. So beautifully done, beautiful performance that we have over here as well, and a beautiful terminal modeling if you have a look at this. Now, if we just go inside for a moment, we can see this amazing level of detail that Jo Erlendsund has once again put into this scenery. Now, Jo is known for creating wonderful sceneries anyway already, and with Oslo he has just topped it off once again. I know there's been quite a bit of critique on why does he create another Oslo scenery while the OrbX one is there and very good already. And to be fair, I can understand that critique. However, I have to say Jo's work really paid out once again. And this is a wonderful looking scenery if you just take a look into this level of detail. And despite this level of detail, it does have a wonderful performance as well. So frame rate seems to be absolutely superb over here, which in part surely is because the area around the gates is more detailed than the areas elsewhere, as you can see. But if we do follow up over here, you can see that as soon as we're getting back to the gate areas, we're getting wonderful looking airport interiors, and we are also getting beautiful announcements in here as well, really giving the airport a very, very good feeling throughout. And I mean, just look at this. This is really cool, isn't it? If we go down a level again over here, huge amount of details, great number of 3D passengers, which are of course controllable through the configurator, so you can choose how many 3D passengers you want. You can customize the airport to your liking. Personally though, I have to say that the FPS is really good on this one, so I don't even see the need to reduce the level of quality overall. And just if we go into the direction of the land side for a moment over here, you can see the waiting areas. This is what it looks like. A little bit less level of detail over here compared with what we've got in the immediate gate areas, but obviously that does make sense since this is the area of the airport that you might not see that often, but nonetheless it still has a beautiful level of detail, as you can see. So overall, beautifully done airport, and I'm very much looking forward to depart from here over to Amsterdam. Now, as mentioned in the beginning, I would love to fly that little Embraer 145 there. Unfortunately, we did not get that one for today's trip, but instead we have the PMDG 737-900 once again, which I haven't flown on the channel for a little while, so I'm really looking forward to fly that beauty again. What I'm also really looking forward to see is how the GSX profile is going to perform. The profile is created by Jo Erlend himself, and as you can see, I picked the stand that is a little bit in the corner over here, so this one has traditionally been a little bit of an issue to push out of, so I'm really looking forward to see how that is going to work out in the end. But okay, for now let's jump right into our aircraft, and we are going to pick this one up in a turnaround panel state over here, which is basically how the airplane was just left after we arrived on block. Okay then, let's go ahead and import our flight plan, and then from there we are going to have a look into our flight. So the wind is coming from the north, as you can see, which makes runway 1 right our departure runway of choice. And if we go down into the flight plan for a moment, then we can see our arrival weather at Amsterdam Schiphol. Currently is variable winds. At the moment, looking at flight radar, yeah, they are using 36 right for the landings. We'll have to see on what it's going to turn out into by the time we arrive. Our route at Rotterdam is looking very good as well, so with that in mind, let's make a decision on the amount of fuel here. We can see that we've already gotten 10 kilos or 10 minutes of extra fuel here for flying the arrival around the airport. So if we have a default here of 6.6, then, well, if we just about round it up, then 7,000 kilos of fuel should be more than fine for this trip. So let's go ahead and start the loading of the fuel, and then we're going to get the airplane going. So 7,000 is what we will take for our trip. Now, What I really like about the 737 over here is that this is the 900 model. Gonna take 165 passengers, and we got about 2,000 kilos of cargo today. 1,500 in the front, 500 in the back. So let's go ahead and start loading that up. We're also going to start the boarding process already, and as soon as the fuel truck is here, we are going to start the refueling as well. So since we're doing fueling and boarding, the passenger sides are going to be off for this one. Let's also flick on the hydraulic pumps. I just had them off for a quick airport tour because, well, they are rather loud on the outside, and unfortunately the simulator is not capable of filtering out sounds when you are on the other side of a wall. So in order to avoid those pumps being audible all the way in the terminal, I switched the pumps off for the video. Okay then, let's go ahead and start the refueling process, and then we can start importing our flight plan. So, Oslo to Amsterdam, we are not going to set anything over here. Select the route, and let's go for it. So, flight plan is on request. And while that is going on, we can already head over into the electronic flight bag, and we are going to start configuring for our departures. So, departure charts, airport. We'll take the airport stands, we'll take the parking stands, and then we take the SID as well. And today the SID is planned for the Vipa 6 Bravo departure. Let's go ahead and collect that. Here it is. Vipa 6 Bravo. Here we go, and the arrival we can do later on. Okay, route uplink ready. Let's go ahead and load that up. So we are going to fly a little bit lower than usual today. There is a jet stream pretty much in our direction, flight level 280. Now we are going to fly slightly above that, but if we have a look into the charts over here, well, first of all, we can see it is OFP revision number 4. So you can see I did a little bit of mathematics there to figure out what the most optimal one would be. So here's our weather charts. You can see the jet stream has a core in flight level 280. This is going to be our route. There is a little remark there, which is moderate turbulence until flight level 340. Probably light to moderate this is going to be. We are going to fly just on the top of the jet stream here. And 340 is indeed the cruising level that we have planned today, to hope that we're going to be outside of the weather. But if you look at the charts, then you can see flight level 300. There's like 55 knots of wind here, but then already 80 knots down here for this part of the flight. So at level 280 we would have been in it exactly, but if you have a look at the next higher chart for level 340, there's really a lot of wind that's going missing already. And then you look at the chart in level 390, you can see the jet stream is almost completely gone. For that reason, even though the optimum altitude in terms of weight might be higher today, we're going to cruise only at 340, and we're going to stay down there as well. Okay, so the route uplink is here. Let's go ahead and also load the departure in here. So Vipa 6 Bravo, here it is. Okay, route, activate, and then let's go on to the performance. So cost index, no, not 6 today, but 30. Let's see what our reserves are going to be, and we have them straight down here, alternate and final. Wow, that's not a lot, that's just 1,900. Let's make that 2,000 kilos for the FMS so that we do get an early warning. Here we go, and then zero fuel weight is going to be 62.7, well, yeah, 62 and 7, so 62.1. Cruising flight level 340, and average wind component, well, plus 33. So what I'm going to do is I'll just take the wind from, say, 020 to 33. That should more or less average it out. Ultimately, we are going to request a wind uplink anyway, so that's going to solve that. Alright, 7001 for the transition altitude. Put that in. Alright, nothing on here yet. Over here, let's go at reduction and acceleration. We'll take 1,000 feet for the acceleration. Reduction 1,500 is okay. And then wind data request. Okay, so wind data request is on the way. Should come up any moment now. Here it is. So wind data uplink load, and then we'll go to the descent page, and we'll just grab the latest forecast here as well. There it is already. Awesome. Alright, cool. So finally for the engine out then, we'll take Oslo and a 25-mile ring. We'll just go straight out. And in terms of the MSA then, we are looking for a 3,900, so 4,000 feet is going to keep us fine. Looking into the departure weather, it's plus 7 degrees, QNH 1013, so we don't need to worry about any cold temperature correction or anything the likes. And then we can zoom all the way in order to get our parking charts. Alright, here we go. Excellent! Let's switch that over into the night mode and make it big. That is just about perfect. Alright, awesome. So that much for our initial FMS setup. Then let's go ahead and do the overhead panel now. Really not a lot to check there since we are just doing a turnaround. Right, fueling is finished already. Then we can take the fasten belts on. Nothing over here, over here. Cruising altitude 340. Landing elevation 0. We don't have maintenance here, so it's going to be the left igniter. Then flight director coming on, and the initial climb, let's just check where that is going to be. 7,000. Okay, so that's still set up. Reset the fuel used. Auto brakes RTO. Then quick check. Oil quantities are good. Hydraulic quantities are good. Nothing to worry about then. Okay. Takeoff config warning works. The brakes should be cool by now. So the parking brake can come on. Don't need any frequencies. And that's it. Alright. Awesome. So that's pretty much our flight deck setup completed. In that case, let's go for the briefing, please. So, threats for this departure? Honestly, I don't see any. Okay then, route check. So, Echo November Golf Mike, Echo Hotel Alpha Mike, and we are the Kilo Lima Mike 1200. The routing itself is a VIPA departure, direct BAFTA November 873 used, VIPA BAFTA 873 used, and Papa 174 Eelde for an Eelde arrival, and we could insert that actually. So it's going to be ILS 36 right approach, Eelde 1 Alpha arrival, and let's just see where that one is actually going to take us. So, arrivals, Amsterdam to RTIP. Okay. Then, is there an RTIP transition for the ILS 36 right? Let's see. Yes, there is. Okay, and that's the RTIP to X-ray transition. Looks good to me, let's take that. Alright, so fuel check then, 3.4 remaining, 565 nautical miles. And if we have a look at the flight plan, we've got 577. And the minimum is 2 tons, so we're looking good on the fuel. Okay, excellent. Well then, time UTC 0947, altimeter 1013, reading 690, flight directors on minus master, standby instruments set. It's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway 1 right, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, and we have no specials, no anti-ice required. For the emergencies, above 80 knots I will only reject for fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, aircraft unable or unsafe to fly. If I call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers and verify maximum manual braking or operation of the RTO auto brakes. Manually raise the speed brake lever and apply maximum reverse. When the aircraft comes to stop, I will set the parking brake. So if you call stop, I will not the brakes on speed, call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thrust reverse normal or normal indications. Call 100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions, call your emissions. I will call auto brake disarm and select flaps 40 when the parking brake has been set and advise ATC of the reject. Awesome, we then identify the failure and carry out any drills as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we do the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, I pull the CBRCB, you grab the lid, and then we get out. So, if the call before V1 is keep going, there will be no actions below 400 feet except to cancel any warnings, raise the landing gear with a positive rate. 400 feet, verify heading, select carry out the memory items. At the MFRA, we buck up, retract flaps and schedule, flap front and light, select level change, max continued thrust, engage the automatics, non-normal checklist, normal checklist, PIOC NITS PA, and then we come up with a plan. Okay, for the taxi, it's going to be a pushback. We'll have to see how the pushback is actually going to be conducted. But anyway, after the pushback, it's going to be a taxi out over here onto either of the lines, and then we go southbound on Sierra all the way for Bravo 1 departure. The SID itself is right here on the Vipa 6 Bravo departure chart. So 10-3 Juliet, effective 17th of June, transition altitude 7,000, which checks with the FMC. Okay, so frequency change shall be initiated by the tower, not a problem. Speed max 250 below flight level 100, and Vipa 6 Bravo after Golf Mike 441. So let's see, we've got 230 at 440 and 250 at 441. That looks good. Let's just make sure that it actually maintains that and insert a 250 or below restriction over there, and then we should be good to go. Okay, and finally, if we do have a look over here, just take these out for a second. 250 below 100 is behind here. Okay, awesome. So then, for the routing itself, we climb to 1,100 feet, minimum bank 20 degrees, maximum 205 knots, with a right hand turn to Golf Mike 440, maximum 230 knots, and that is what we have. Thereafter, it's going to be track 161, 4.5 miles, waypoint 441. Then it's going to be track 205, 41.9 to Kubub, and that's what we have. And finally, 186, 30.4 inbound Viri. And lastly, track 232, 10.9 inbound to Vipa. And that is it then. Do you have any questions on the briefing? No? Excellent. Okay, in that case, APU is now available. Boarding should be more or less done anyway now. Let's have a look into the services. So we can release the fuel truck. We've got what we want. Boarding is also complete. And the loading is also complete. That is awesome. Then all of these can disconnect. We'll quickly say hello to the passengers, and then we'll get our plane ready for the push. So let's go ahead and call GSX already. Prepare for pushback and departure. Release ground power. Yes. Okay then. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from Flight Deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of KLM, welcome aboard our flight 1200 towards Amsterdam. Flight time today is 1 hour and 30 minutes at a cruising altitude of 34,000 feet. We would like to welcome you all on board, but remind you that whenever you're seated in your seats, you are expected to have your seatbelt fastened. That is not just because we do like fastened seatbelts, but that is also because we have a rather strong tailwind today, which means that there might be some turbulences involved as well. Thank you very much for being our guests. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. The cabin crew will shortly point out the safety features on board this Boeing 737-900 aircraft. We would like to ask you to pay your full attention, as that is not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the passengers sitting around you. Once again, welcome aboard. Okay, I'm not gonna try the Dutch one. That is... my Dutch friends are not going to like that, let's put it that way. Okay then, so... the equipment is getting removed, they're connecting the tug. That is very, very good. Alright, so pushback position 4 is looking good. Can we see where exactly that is? Not really, huh? I have a feeling it's over there, related to those two stripes over there. But we'll see about it. Okay, excellent. So then we are pretty much good to go. Clearance-wise, 7,000 and the Squawk 2111. Safety inspection checklist, and before start checklist, down to the line please. Well, actually, I tell you what, let's do the performance first, and then we can just do the entire checklist. So performance tool, guide mode, runway, 1 right, import from aircraft, import weather and calculate. So we're looking at, I don't like that, let's go takeoff 2, see what we get. I highly doubt that that's not possible at this weight. Okay, takeoff 131. That looks good to me. Weight 69,120. Okay, let's have a look at what we have. So zero fuel weight, 59.9. That is 2,200 kilo lighter. That's okay, that gives us 66.9. Okay, let's go ahead and import that. 66.9. Takeoff 133, okay. So that is going to be a 24k at 33 degrees then. 91.4 versus 91.5. That's good enough. Okay, so flaps 5 takeoff, optimum CG gives us 5.5 units of trim, and the speeds should be 145, 146, 153, and that is within limits. Okay, awesome. So 153 is what we get. Perfect. Did I actually tune 6? Yeah, I trimmed 6.5 instead of 5.5. Lovely. Okay, here we go. Would probably have picked it up in the checklist, but better safe than sorry. Okay, so chocks can be removed. We're on the park and brake. Well, let's go for the checklist then. So, services and chocks, checked. Maintenance status, checked. Battery, on. Electric hydraulic pumps, on. Landing gear lever, down. Ship's library, checked. IRS mode selectors, nav, gear pins, that is 1, 2, and 3 removed. Light test, not needed on turnaround. Oxygen, test 100%. Yaw damper, on. Nav transfer and display switches, normal and auto. Fuel, so 6.6 is minimum, 7 on board and 4 pumps on. Cabin utility IFE on, emergency exit lights armed, fasten belts on, window heat on. Air conditioning, PAX auto, bleeds on, set. Pressurization mode selector, auto, instruments, cross-checked, auto brake, RTO, speed brake. Down detent, park and brake, set. Stop time cutout switches, normal, radius radar transponder, set and alt off. Rudder and aileron trims, 3 and 0, take-up briefing, discussed, PA complete, FMC and CDU. Set, N1 IS box, that's reduced 24k, speeds 44, 46, 53, set. Step trim 5.5, set. Performance, weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stowed, flight windows and cockpit door, locked, doors closed, passengers seated. Before start checklist complete. Ground from cockpit, go ahead. So please confirm all doors and hatches closed, ground equipment removed and bypass pins installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, pushback approved, spot 4, park and brake released. Roger, start the push, stand by for engines. Standing by. Before start checklist below the line. Air compacts off, anti-collision light on, park and brake released, transponder alt off, before start checklist complete. Alright then, off we go. Now this is going to be an interesting pushback over here. I picked this parking spot right on purpose over here, because the scenery is delivered together with a GSX profile, and I'm really wondering how they implemented this. But looks like they're taking the dashed line over here, the white one, and probably pushing onto that spot over here. Let's see that in action. Yeah, that does look pretty good. I still remember all the trouble I had pushing with, let's say, other profiles. Without a profile, this stand just isn't going to work anyway. But this looks pretty good to me. Any text written on here? No, but this, yeah, this is spot 4, there it is written. That's the number 4 there. Okay, cool. Then, starting engine 2. So we've got N2, all pressure, N1. Wow, very good pushback. Very, very good pushback. Okay. Park mark set. Please remove all ground equipment and advisement clear. Starter cutout. Monitor 2 starting 1. And 2. Oil pressure. And 1. That still looks interesting though. Starter cutout. Monitor 1. Number 1. Watching for this one. Number 1 stable. Okay, ground. Clear disconnect. 2 good engine starts. See you. Bye now. Alright, and that is the hand signal received anyway. So, flight controls. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. Rudder, full left, full right, neutral. After start checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe beat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning PEX auto, bleeds on, isolation valve auto. Flaps, 5 required. 5 selected and the green light. Steptron 5.5 set. So start levers, idle detent, flight controls checked, recall checked before taxi checklist complete. Alright, off we go. Down to the right, first right on Sierra, down to the holding point. So brakes are released. Config. Checked. And out to the right hand side we go. Bit of a strange feeling taxiing the longer 737 over here. Still short compared with the 777 and others, but, you know, you can feel that it is longer than the 800. Okay, there's a Norwegian inbound over there. Okay, Norwegian is turning first right on Tango. That fits perfectly. We are gonna go on Sierra and then we shouldn't have a problem. Okay, clear on the left side. By the way, beautiful reflections of the terminal, aren't they? Okay then. Before takeoff, checklist down to the line. Config checked, flaps 5, green light. Stepgen 5.5 set. Takeoff briefing. So it's going to be a left-sea takeoff, runway 1 right, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure number 2. We are going to use LNAV and VNAV on this one. Speeds 44, 46, 53 with the anti-ice off and the PAX auto. So, the SID is straight at 1100, then a right-hand turn with a minimum of 20 degrees angle of bank, so we just gotta watch the speed, that it isn't too slow by the time we do this. And, well, from there on, not really that much to say. In case of emergency, straight at 4000, MSA 3900, and on the SID, flight level 70. Or actually, altitude 7000, that way around. Questions? No? Awesome. And cabin secure, before takeoff checklist complete. Very well done airport. The maintenance area, the terminal area, it all really looks spot on. It's once again Yo Erlendsund. He never disappoints. Like, Cologne was superb, Brussels was superb. Actually, I believe the freeware Paderborn-Lippstadt from Aerosoft was also done by him. So really a good guy. Have to say, he really pumps out the best Aerosoft products we've seen over the recent time. He really does. Okay, let's see. Is there anyone on final? Nope, there isn't. Perfect. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set, transponder, Tara. Strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete. And I'll tell you what, we'll just quickly get rid of the ILS frequencies here. Makes the PFD look a little bit less cluttered. Okay, so both sides are clear. Nothing on the TCAS. Timing. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. $80 knots, checked. Gear up. LNAV. Checked. Okay then, minimum 20 degrees, they said. And this is a minimum of 20 degrees. Traffic. Yeah, no idea where that guy comes from.
Adjust vertical speed.
Flaps 1. Does TCAS... No, you shouldn't command to descend here. Okay, flaps up.
Clear of conflict.
Alright, and resuming. Not sure where that AI came from. Did he fly tailwind approach or something? I guess sometimes we just don't have to be surprised, huh? But let's have a quick look. That's gotta be him. Okay, back to the cockpit. Okay then, let's continue the climb. Then accelerating 250, we've got to maintain those until 441 over here. I'm probably going to maintain it a little bit longer as well. Okay, engine anti-ice on. And after takeoff checklist, please. Set standard. So, aircon and press, 3.0 climbing set. Altimeters, standard. Cross-check passing flight level 8 to now. Checked. FMC message, unable to 50 at RTIP. Yeah, that shall not be a problem. We'll fix that in a moment. I just really like hand flying the 737. It flies so nicely. Okay, passing 10,000. Let's do the acceleration, and then after the acceleration we are going to do the 10 checks, and then probably put the autopilot on after that. We'll definitely leave the seatbelts on until we are through this. Okay, that guy there will not be a problem, I suppose. We'll outclimb him now. Okay. Command A. So, 10 checks please. Fuel balanced. 4 pumps on, lights off, APU off, air conditioning pressurization 4.4, climbing set, fasten belts on, recall checked to 1 to 1.5. Set. 10 checks complete. Alright then, let's climb flight level 340. As we said on the ground already, there is really no reason to go any higher today. Let's just see what kind of winds we're going to get. Yeah, that is looking pretty good. Alright, and the ETA 11:29, so in about an hour and 17 minutes. That is just about perfect. So over here it says optimum 368, but that doesn't take the wind into account. So 340 is going to be our final level here. Engine anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice is off. Alright, awesome. So we basically got it. Then let's continue our flight over, and I am going to accelerate this a little bit so that it doesn't get too boring for you guys. See you all in the approach to Amsterdam then. So we've just about reached level 105, started the deceleration over here, so seatbelt signs are on. And then we can have a quick chat about the arrival that we are going to fly in a few moments. You probably saw me setting it up already, but I do realize it might have been a little bit quick, so in order to do a very quick arrival briefing over here, let's just quickly go over the most important things. So, we don't have any threats for the arrival. 250 below 100 is in. Forecast page is also filled in. Fixed rings runway 27, 10 miles, 4 miles. And for the legs page, we've got the FAF Alpha Mike 639 and 2000. I've just left the speed restriction in here in order to make the airplane flight a little bit more conservatively. Missed approach on the runway track 3000, contact to ATC. And that's it already. So, for our approach itself, we've got courses 266, frequencies 111.55 active on both sides, and the minimum 188. And that's about it already. Any questions? No? Excellent. Then let's do the 10 check straight away as well. So fuel is balanced with 4 pumps on, lights on, angular bank 25, air compress is at 3.8 descending set, fast modes on, recall is checked, 1 to 1.5 is still being monitored, and that's about it. Okay, so the descent checklist was completed already a little bit earlier. With the approach checklist, we gotta wait until we're cleared down to an altitude, and I'll just wait until we've passed RTIP before I am going to do that. Now, a little feature of the real-world airplane here that is slightly different from the simulated one. In the real world, when you've got a flight level restriction here, I could, without any problems, just set the QNH in the altimeter, and still the airplane would treat the flight level restriction as a flight level. In other words, if we, for example, assume the QNH would be 1023, so our altimeter would reach 300 feet higher than standard, then we could still say that the airplane would abide the correct flight level, because it would pass the RTIP with its flight level 70 restriction at an indicated altitude of 7,300, the lowest, which would correspond to flight level 70. So that's a pretty cool feature of the 737 VNAV system. Unfortunately, just like the QNH correction with its corresponding jumping path, that's currently not modeled in the PMDG aircraft. I do really hope they're going to add that with a future update, however. Now, looking into the QNH, we've got 1020, at least that was the forecast. Let's check if it's still current. Yes, it is. The wind is 2908, so down the nose, no wind correction required. 1020 is excellent. Okay then, so let's do a frisk check. Frequency is 11155. Rings are around the runway 27, 10 and 4 miles. Items, we've got Bravo Victor Bravo, which is correct, and checked on both sides. Standby instrument set, and the course is 266. Approach checklist, please. Altimeter to instrument, set and cross-checked. Approach rates, checked and set. Approach checklist complete. Let's see if we've got... Oh yes, we do have a vertical situation displaying here. Awesome. I do have a feeling we need to help the plane a bit with its descent. Something many people don't know, if you just click the flight detent over here, that gives you full speed brakes. Really nice feature. Likewise, you can stow it by just clicking on any of the detents. Works very nicely. Though I do have to say they pull the speed brake pretty quickly, so that would be rather uncomfortable for the passengers, but hey. Wait a moment, we're flying a decent airline right now. Okay, we might have to think about passenger comfort. Nonetheless, I do find this is a pretty cool feature that many people are not aware of. So reaching 3000, just about 3-4 miles per hour Titvo. That means with a speed brake we'll have the speed down 200 by the time we reach Titvo, so we are pretty much flying a good profile. Little cloud coming over there, engine anti-ice on. Engine anti-ice is on. Always cross-check that on the gauges, never just with the switch position. Even though you do have the lights in the 3.7 cockpit, the gauges still give you the best idea. Always remember, lights can fail. Gauges, well, either the entire gauge goes out, or nothing happens. Okay, I do hope that that is sufficient speed brake here. Let's go ahead and start our speed reduction then. Come back 209. And then, as we're going right over the city of Amsterdam, hopefully we'll be able to do a very nice idle thrust approach. Airport should be somewhere over there, if I'm not mistaken. I was just about to say the simulator looks gorgeous when this little line appeared over here. Well, happens, huh? Happens. Okay, engine anti-ice off. Okay. Automatics coming off. I really love it how you are slightly out of trim when you disconnect the autopilot. That's actually a feature of the real aircraft. It is usually not exactly in trim. There's always a tiny deviation. Okay, we do have good indications. No, not you. You. So, approach mode armed. And well, we can just keep it here in vertical speed. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Localizer live. Let's go over to approach mode. Warlock captured. Glide slope captured. Go around altitude 3000 set. Flaps 5. Speed checked. Flaps 5. Okay then, flight director off, let's do the rest ourselves. Or rather, recycle flight directors. Welcome to the 737. Not used to that anymore from all the 777 flying. Just doing the most important things as early as possible. What is a bit of a pity in the 737 is that you lose the expanded localizer scale when you turn the flight directors off, as the expanded scale is coupled to the approach mode. Okay, runway is in sight. Gear down, flaps 15. And the landing checklist down to flaps, please. Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brake, armed, green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake 3 set, holding at flaps. Flaps 30, set VREV plus 5. And that's set. So complete the checklist. Flaps 30, 30, green light, landing lights on, landing checklist complete. So nice how easily the 737 is losing the speed compared with the A330. The 330 really, you take the gear at 2500 or you can forget the approach. Okay, so
1000.
checked. Speed is slightly high, correcting.
$500.
500, continue.
Approaching minimums.
Checked.
Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay. Speed brake up. Thrust reverse normal. Finally, I did not make the Airbus call. Manual brakes. Auto brake disarm. And here we are, right onto the exit. Nice. Still a little bit hard to disable that auto brake properly, but doesn't matter, here we are. Okay. So then we'll go initially straight over here. Okay then, recall is checked. There is no after landing checklist in here, so welcome to Amsterdam. So parking right over here, Echo 17. Let's see if we can quickly get GSX. Echo PM medium, nah. Not really, huh? I mean, we are parking on a wide body gate today. Interestingly enough, this is the very gate where they parked in the real world when I checked the flight on flight radar, so here we go then. Okay, lights off. APU is available and on. Oh, lovely, still forgot to deactivate those numbers. So, B739 is on the guidance system. Trying to ignore what's on the bottom and just read what's on the top. And here we are. Okay then, 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew all doors in park. And since we are going to leave the aircraft, we'll secure it completely. Okay, so that's both engines below 20%. Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off, APU or electrical on APU, fasten belts off, window heat off, probe heat auto, anti-ice off, electric hydraulic pumps off, voice recorder auto, air compressor off, engine bleeds on, APU bleed off, exterior lights set, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down to 10, flaps up no light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2000 standby, CB in, cockpit door unlocked. Alright my friends, that's the shutdown checklist complete. So then let's go for a deboarding over here. Off we go. And with that, all I can say is welcome to Amsterdam. So, lovely little flight in the 900 once again. It's really been a little while until we've flown this one, but it, as always, is a very nice aircraft. SkyTeam livery also looks pretty cool. Better than the Star Alliance livery if you ask me. Now in any case, I do hope that you enjoyed this one. All I can say is I really did. I really enjoyed Oslo. Now Amsterdam looks great as well, but it doesn't have terminal interiors, at least not in a full-blown way, so for that reason I actually think Oslo is a tiny bit better, even though Amsterdam is still a superb airport. So that was a lot of fun to fly this one. I do hope you guys enjoyed it as well. As always, if you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below and leave a like if you did like the video. If you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then I see you all again on the next one.